What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Can you hear me? I think you can hear me. The greatest soundtrack ever made is Footloose. Prove me wrong, people. Prove me wrong. How's everybody doing? Nice to see you guys. Feels like it's been forever since the last live stream. That's not Jimmy Champagne. Chris Snyder, what's up, brother? Lance Chafin, Good Real Hunting, Gory Tiger, Troy, Low Carb Monster, Mark Jones, Franck. It made me think of Better Off Dead. Franck, fries, dressing. Chester, what's up? Brandon, how you doing? Amber, nice to see you. Aaron Click, there we go. Brett, Good Real Hunting. Because if loving the Lord is wrong, I don't want to be right. Lance, Holly, Kieran, how you doing? Yeah. See, Nuclear Fusion, Fractal. It's nice seeing all my beautiful, beautiful people in the house. Robert Jones. Yeah. How are you guys doing on a Sunday evening, 5:30? My times are always all over the place. Speaking of Jimmy Champagne, though, I will say, happy. What would it be? Congratulations. He just got married. I don't know if he wanted me to say that, but he did. So I'm so happy for him. I'm pretty sure he posted that everywhere. But yeah, Jimmy Champagne got married. It's awesome. He's one of the nicest guys ever, and I'm super, super happy for him. You know, it's the start of a journey right there, right? That's the start of a great, great journey, getting married. And it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome to have a partner in crime, right? There you go. But, man, should I share? I got a Levi shit story. Do you guys want to hear a Levi shit story? Do you guys have a dog? And more importantly, do you guys have a dog that every now and then he shits in the house? You know, there's a comedian. He said, my dog's housebroken. He only shits in the house. But actually, Levi's really, really good with potty training. He learned really, really quick. I think that's part of the breed. He's a miniature schnauzer. But every now and then, you know, any dog they're gonna get sick, right? You know, I'd say like once every couple months, Levi gets a little case of the D, right? And poor little guy. We have a gate, like one of those little pull gates, you know, because we have stairs in our house. And so we got a pull gate at the bottom. I installed it myself. And a pull gate at the top. Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast. What's up, guys? How are you doing? Nice to see you. And so my dumbass, I forgot to put the gate. And just, wouldn't you know it, the one time I forget, Levi heads up the stairs, right? I think he heads up the stairs when he gets, if he can't get out the door, he's going to go up the stairs to do his business, right? And he was sick. Who is this? Damn it. There we go. I don't know. Hey guys, if you look at your phone, like if you get a phone call, and like me, I pre-program names into any number that I talk to from time to time, because I like to know who I'm talking to. And if like I'm looking at, like somebody's calling me right now, but if it's just the number and I haven't pre-programmed it in, I don't answer it. That's just my thing, right? Is that rude of me, guys? I don't do that. I don't like answering it if I don't know who it is. So I gotta know who you are. I gotta pre-program it in there. Is it right? Is that right? Pre-program, or do I just program it in? Right? Is it pre-promotion or is it promotion? That's Holly probably knows what I'm talking about. That's some Howard Stern humor for you. But Erica, how are you doing? Seeing more people flow in. That's not Polly. Nice to see you. Yes. But yeah, back to my Levi shit story. Okay. I got home at lunch. I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. I got home at lunch, and Levi wasn't downstairs, and I thought, oh boy. And you know, you can think the worst. Did he get out somehow? Or you can think, what has he been into? You know, Levi's not the type of dog though that will like tear shit up or go in the trash or anything like that. Luckily, he's a small little guy, so I don't worry about stuff like that. But I went upstairs and I saw just a little bit of poo, just a little bit of poo at the landing at the bottom of the stairs, just a little bit of poo, right? And I was like, okay, this could be bad. Hopefully this is the only poo that's there. Boy, was it not. I got upstairs and I have like if you get up my stairs, straight back there's a guest bedroom and straight to the left is the master bedroom, okay? So I looked in the master bedroom first because what he does is he'll like to jump up on top of our bed. Luckily I didn't see, I saw a little bit of poo, just a little bit of poo on the rug. So I don't think he could get up on the bed. I was like, okay, I can deal with this. If it's just a little bit of poo, then that's fine. So then I was like, let me go check. And I got a bonus for you after. Let me go check the spare bedroom. And so I went over to the spare bedroom. Holy shit. Literally. Wow. There it is. On the cover was, it looked like shit polka dots. Let's put it that way. On top of the cover, shit polka dots. Like there must have been at least, 20 brown circles. So here's what happened. How did these brown circles polka dotted get all over the bed? Levi, he grows hair out, and sometimes when he's having a bad shit week, you know, where he gets like runny and nasty and everything, his hair will get tangled. So I have to make sure I cut the back of his asshole. Like really, I got to make sure it's. Have you guys ever seen that 80s movie where the bear gets its asshole shaved in the back? Guys, what's the name of that movie? That's pretty much what I have to do. I have to shave Levi's asshole because if I don't, sometimes a tangle will go across. And here's what happened. Levi was on the bed, right? Levi was sitting on the bed, and I shit you not, there was a ball of shit. It was almost like it was taped to the back of his ass, right? Just like a clump. Like this is Levi's ass right here, like going all the way. That's Levi, right? And this is the end of his ass is right there. And this right here is the massive clump of shit that was, Great Outdoors, thank you very much. The massive clump of shit that was just on the end of Levi's ass. And there was like 2 strands of hair wrapped around the front of the clump. And I had to take Levi downstairs. I took him downstairs. I put his little butt over the sink, and I had to like get some toilet paper. Don't ask, all right? I'm not going to go into the details, but it was not fun, all right? It was an operation is what it was. I should have been paid for it. It was not fun at all. Guys, have you ever had to get your hand into your dog's asshole and clean him up? Okay, have I given you too much? That's where I was. That was my lunch, by the way. Worst lunch I've ever had in my entire life. Usually on my work break, I go home for lunch. And I get to chill. I throw on something on the old tube, and I have my lunch, and it's nice. Usually I have like my chicken pot pie or something like that, or might make a sandwich. But no, this lunch, I spent the entire lunch cleaning my dog's asshole. That's what I did for my entire lunch. And as soon as I got done, I was like, oh, I got a story to tell for my DDLive. Wow. And the bonus, remember I said there's a bonus, all right? Here's the bonus. After I cleaned my dog up, I went back upstairs because there's one room I didn't check, right? One room I did not check. Which room is that, guys? Which room is that I did not check? I'll give you a hint. I'm sitting in it right now. And I thought to myself, oh boy, please, 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 no. Please, 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 no. Not in my studio. Not in my studio. No, not the bathroom. Not the bathroom. I did check the bathrooms. The bathrooms were okay. Now, the reason I say not in my studio is because I have this really thick shag carpet on the ground here. Okay? I'd say it's about maybe 1.5 inches thick shag carpet. Okay? And it's not tight shag. It's like, just all over the place like that, right? So if shit gets in that carpet, it's not fun to get out, okay? It's not fun to get out at all. So Levi was actually at some point sitting in my studio on my shag carpet, and I didn't see any shit, but I sure as hell did smell it. Okay? Like as soon as I walked in the room, it was like a shit brick in the face. All right? It was really bad. So I pretty much had to carpet clean my entire shag carpet here in my studio. Luckily now it smells great. It smells fine. But yeah, I had to come in here with the freaking I have one of those what do you call them? Those little pet vacuums. It's like a wet vac, a little pet vac. I guess that's what you'd call it. About yay big, you know. If you have a dog, I tell you, it's the best investment I've ever had, because you put your solution in, you got your water, you turn it on, and it's got this like scrub brush at the end of the handle, and you just scrub it, right? And it just, as you scrub it, it's sucking all the poo-poo up into the hose. Did you think you were going to walk into a DDLive and have this type of conversation? But here we are. Here we are. But I almost cried. But look, I did check everything. Luckily, I keep a lot of stuff off the ground in my studio. So I wanted to make sure I didn't have any like poo-poo on my like masks and whatnot, like Sam over there, my Chucky, and all those guys. Luckily, there was no poo-poo all over there. So Levi's sitting right behind me right now. But he's doing better now. He's doing better now. Thank God. Yeah, luckily there was no shit all over the walls. God damn it. That's, holy crap. Can you believe this, guys? I got work calling me right now, okay? But I'm not on call. So, should I answer it if I'm not on call and they're calling me from work? Would you answer it if you're not on call? You know? Because you have 1 week out of the month that you're on call. And I don't want to, I'm not going to answer it, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to answer it. Because if I answer that call, what wasp nest could I get myself into, right? I don't know. No, hell no. I'm not going down that road. Hell no. They got keys, right? They can figure it out. Am I right, guys? Fuck that. I love my job, but when it's here's my thing with work, okay? And I don't know about you guys. Some people, they take the work home with them even though they don't have to, and they think about work and that's all they do, right? Some people do that. I've worked for people that do that. But here's my thing. You got me for 8 hours, all right? And during that 8 hours, I will give you everything I got. I will crawl out of that place at the end of that 8 hours, all right? But after that 8 hours, I'm a dust in the wind. I'm a ghost in the wind. You don't see me anymore. You don't see me. So, yeah, I'm not answering. Because you know why, guys? I love my free time. I'm telling you guys, I love free time more than anything. If I went to a well, you know, you go to a well and they give you 3 wishes. One of those wishes would be free time. Can I just have free time? Because I got way too many things going on, and oh God. He's asking me where. See, and if I answer the text now, then he'll know I was here. So what I do is I wait like 15 minutes, and then I tell him where the portable ACs are. But they should be. Damn it. Should I call him back? I already know what he's asking, so maybe I'll call him back and tell him. Hold on, I'll tell you what, guys. I'll call him back and I'll tell him. Okay. All right. Give me 2. It'll take me 2 minutes. All right. 2 minutes. All right. We're having fun, right? I got a show for you tonight. Okay. Hold on. I always say to text me. Just text me first, all right? I'm an introverted guy, you know? Text me because I don't like talking on the phone. It's just I'm just not that type of guy. But yeah, what else did I have to say? Tonight we're gonna do 10 slashers that don't have sequels. Okay, guys, right now, give me a slasher movie that you love that does not have a sequel. It can have a remake. We'll allow that, but. And you know what? The deeper the cut, the better. All right, the deeper. I think I got some deep cuts in there for you. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Do we want to do? You know what? We'll start with the funnies, and because I have a topic in here that I can discuss too, and it's kind of funny. It's a troll comment. Let's see. Hold on. We got. Maniac. That's a good one. I forgot to put Maniac on the list. Valentine, Intruder, Black Christmas, Sleepaway Camp has 2 sequels. Good sir. Mutilator. Trick or Treat is not a slasher, Mikey, but I love you. Trick or Treat is more of like an anthology. Behind the Mask, really good one. Final Girls, great one. Shocker, yeah, Shockers, that's a deep cut. I like that. You're Next, obviously. American Gothic, yeah. Monster House, hey, there we go. I just recorded a review for Monster House today. That's not a slasher though. That's just like a haunted house movie, right? Halloween 1978. You know what? Halloween, Chester, does Halloween have a sequel, guys? I think it might have a remake. I don't know if it has a sequel or not. Okay? I'll have to check. But speaking of Halloween, I also reviewed a movie. Guys, let me ask you this before I tell you the movie, okay? What is the one slasher movie that is like the biggest ripoff of Halloween? Can any of you this is a fact. There is an actual answer to this, okay? Because remember, Halloween came out and there were like 8,000 slashers that come out. And I think most of them were influenced by Halloween. But there's a difference between influence and ripoff. And to rip something off means you pretty much have to copy it. You know, you might copy the score, the story beats. Yeah. So there he goes. I see it already. Offerings. That's it. So I knew a lot of you haven't probably never heard of Offerings. Trina, what's up? I got a couple of Trina's funnies in here tonight too, guys. Friday the 13th was you know what though? Offerings makes Friday the 13th look like a completely different plot. And you know what? To Friday the 13th's credit, it's far different than Halloween in terms of the story. It's a camp slasher, right? But funny enough, Sean Cunningham literally said that to Victor Miller. He said, hey, let's rip off Halloween. And I think Sean Cunningham got upset that Victor let that be known, you know, that he said. But I mean, that's not going to piss anybody off or shock anybody. Hell, everybody wanted to capitalize on the success of Halloween, right? So, yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, I want to get into the, hold on. We're going to do funnies right now, and I'm going to get into one particular funny. Okay, all right. So let me go to my funnies. Chris! Fluff, I hope he's still here, man. I had to steal that. That was classic. I already gave you a little sample, but let me grab. Did I put it on? I better have put it on here. Oh yeah, I know I put it on here. Okay. Yeah, I called that one Jack and Dumber. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So I got to give this guy a shout out. If you're a creative, I almost said creative shill. If you're a creative troll and you make me laugh, then I'm going to give you a shout out and I'm going to give you props. Okay. Because this guy, I love him. He goes out of his way I'd say there's probably at least a dozen videos now that he's left this type of comment on. And you know, I don't take offense to any, unless you get like personal, but I don't take offense to any troll comment. You know, I think they're all just really fun, and it's just part of the process. It's part of the game. But honestly, guys, if I go a long period without getting a troll comment, I start getting worried. If I'm being honest, I'm like, where the hell are my trolls? Am I sucking that bad that I'm not getting trolls? So this troll, he literally took the time to write a poem, and he does this in like every time he leaves a comment on my troll. But this might be my favorite. But the theme in every comment that he leaves is I'm a shill. And it seems like every freaking YouTuber that reviews, I'd say new release movies, there's like a trend of people that like to call them a shill. And the only proof that they have, or quote unquote proof that they have for that, is that they don't agree with your opinion on said movie. But honestly, I don't think this guy even like watches the review. I think he just likes to call me a shill, no matter what. And it doesn't matter if I like the movie or dislike the movie. I have to be working for the man, for the corporation. And by the way, guys, I'm there. You can't see below my waist here, but around waist up, there are $100 bills stacked up from all my shill money. So luckily, I keep that out of frame, all right? Because these guys, or just this guy maybe, or you know what? There's a lot of people that like to call reviewers shills, okay? So these guys must think that we all get like a PayPal, account or something like that, just loaded with money from every movie that we give a good review for, right? Or maybe even we give a bad review and a competitive or a competing company will pay us for that. Okay. So we'll read it and then I'll comment. All right. We'll read it and then I'll comment. All right. Looking into your eyes, know I'm right. He even does a little eye emoji there. It's really nice. A pint of scotch and the lies will flow tonight. This movie has many scares. Now, scares are subjective. Okay. I don't really get scared by anything. But I can tell if a movie is, I guess, scary or not, right? Does that make sense? Okay. Why am I defending myself already? Gatorsburg has no theater out there. That must be like short for Florida because we have gators in Florida. Making a mess, taking those checks, integrity tank on empty. Nothing is left. A shill. A24 is a door and Lee is the key. That's my favorite line, by the way. Selling out your dignity. A shill. Sergeant, please report to the brig. Maybe he probably knows that I was in the military. A shill. Direct deposits moving in for the kill. A shill, a shill, a shill. I like that creativity, if I'm being honest. It brightened my day. As soon as I was reading it, I started like cracking a smile. I was like, this is kind of awesome. So now, to be serious though, I guess let's talk about the notion of being a shill. First off, the process of becoming a Rotten Tomatoes certified critic is not easy. It's a long freaking road. Okay. And there's many avenues that you can take to get to that, but every avenue is pretty tough, and I'd say it's probably the toughest for a YouTuber because YouTubers, you got to have a minimum of 30,000 subscribers, but even then you can get turned down because what they're going to do is they're going to look at you because you have to submit for approval an email. And then they look at your channel and they make the determination on, okay, after watching this guy's content, would that deem him, I guess, qualified enough to be a Rotten Tomatoes certified critic? They look for certain criteria, okay? You can't just there's certain things you got to do in a review for them to take you seriously. For them, okay? And I'm not saying these people are any more important than regular viewers, all right? I'm just giving you factual information about how to become a Rotten Tomatoes certified critic. And at the end of the day, it's not easy at all, okay? So the first thing, my goal when I became a Rotten Tomatoes certified critic was to start earning money from studios to give reviews that they want for their movies. Okay, go ahead and somebody clip that out. That's a no context comment. All right, a little bit of sarcasm there, but can you imagine that? Like you go through this freaking, it took me like 4 years to become a certified critic. Can you imagine going through all that just so you can lie about your reviews? It's almost silly. It's crazy, Plus, I got this thing called integrity when it comes to talking about movies. I like to be completely flat out honest with you. And just to give you an example, sometimes they'll, for lack of a better term, they'll court you. They'll send you gifts. You've probably seen this all the time on like Instagram pages, even YouTube channels. Somebody opening up, got a big box of goodies from Warner Brothers, right? Just to say, hey, thank you for even discussing our film, right? And press screenings, that's a big one. I went to a certain movie for Warner Brothers. I shouldn't have even said Warner Brothers, but it's already out there, so I'll say it. So I went to a certain press screening for Warner Brothers a couple years ago, and when I walked out of the movie, they always ask you, what did you think of the movie? They want like a nice little blurb of what you thought of the movie, a couple sentences. And I came out, and for this particular movie, I pretty much said I hated the movie. It was not good at all, and I gave them the reasoning for why I thought the movie was just completely horrible, And to me, I was like, you know what? I feel good that I can do that because, yeah, you might worry that you're not going to get another invite, but at the end of the day, I got to live with that opinion. And if I gave a lie, my particular opinion, then I don't know. I wouldn't be able to live with myself, if I'm being honest, right? Even if I still stayed on, but. Yeah, so I don't know. For me, I take that shit pretty seriously. I don't go into reviews hoping to get propped up by a studio and make some money and get some kudos and all that stuff. I don't care about that. I just want to give the most honest review that I possibly can. But when I get troll comments like that, I think it's hilarious. I think they're funny. They're really funny. But the thing to me is like half the movies he posted that I didn't like the movies. I'm guessing. You're right? Because if you look at a lot of my reviews, I don't like everything. There's a lot of movies. I have an entire category called Rips a New A-Hole, Hot Relish, and it's fun to rip apart a movie if it's bad. So, yeah. Now, does that mean your mind is like locked into the first viewing of a movie? Not for me. I guess I'm what I would call like an emotional movie watcher, meaning that my mood can change, or sometimes it takes me a couple watches to fully grasp the movie. And to give you an example of that, I reviewed like Dr. Sleep, right? I reviewed Dr. Sleep. I did not give it a good review on the first time I watched it. But then when I went back and watched it a few more times, I grew to love that movie, okay? And that's part of the fun of the process too, because that's what movies are. They're subjective, right? They can hit you in different ways. So, yeah. Yeah, Brandon says, I mean, you want people to believe you're an honest reviewer or be paid. And that's the thing, too. Once you lose that integrity, you don't get it back. If that, spills out to the public that this guy actually accepted money to do a review, you just ended your entire reputation, And I value my my integrity for my movies, my movie reviews. So yeah, but I thought that was hilarious. Okay, since we're on the funnies, This one, I always try to keep it current. Jack Powell, he posted that. Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, because Jada just had a book come out. And she wants to give her side of the story. So, I normally wouldn't post stuff like this because this is kind of personal between the two of them. But because freaking Jada Pinkett Smith keeps constantly making it, she's got to get her side of the story out there. Whereas I think Will Smith, he's playing it right. He's more reactionary to things. And 9 times out of 10, he doesn't say anything. That's my personal business. And, as much shit as we gave Will Smith for slapping Chris Rock, and I agree, it was horrible to do that, I still can respect how he's handling his personal life and his marriage and everything. So, but, it sucks when every time you turn around, Jada is constantly, doing an interview or promoting her book. I mean, that's why she's doing it. She's promoting a book. At the end of the day, that's all she's doing, promoting a book, right? So, but should Will Smith get out of that marriage? I don't know. I don't live in that house with them, and maybe we're seeing 10% of the story, right? We don't know. But it was a funny meme. Okay. It says, just when I needed him the most, new pics of Ben Affleck struggling with the unbearable weight of being alive while on a Dunkin' run just dropped. It seems like every time we see Ben Affleck in public, I think he's just got one of those faces where he just kind of, he seems miserable. And I think some people, they just have that face and they might not be miserable at all. Or, they might have just caught him in a moment. Who knows? But we've seen so many pictures of, did you guys see the last one? I think he's at the Grammys with Jennifer Lopez. And he looks like it's the last place in the world that he'd ever want to be, Michael Myers, yeah, he was a good Batman. He was a very good Batman. It pisses me off that he never got his own Batman movie, It must suck to become Batman and you do I think he was in 4 or 5 of those movies, but he never got to do his own solo Batman movie. And I think he was supposed to direct his solo Batman movie at one time, right? Yeah, Will and Ben. I'm starting you off with 2 miserable men for the funnies. Okay. Here we go. I saw this one on one of the horror groups. It says, ain't that just the way? Okay, so this is a Pet Sematary one. I meet someone, we talk. I warn them of the danger of the Pet Sematary while simultaneously showing them exactly how to use it. And then they use it. I never thought about that, and maybe I'm missing some context here, but isn't that pretty much if guys, what's his name? Jesus, I already forgot. Fred Gwynn, what's his character's name in Fred? But if he would have never told the guy about the Pet Sematary, then we wouldn't have been in this mess in the first place. Yeah, right? And then his wife ends up becoming, Judd, thank you very much. So Judd pretty much causes all this. If Judd wouldn't have said anything, then we wouldn't have a movie, right? Maybe a lot of movies are like that, though. You got to have, it's like Laurie Strode dropping the knife. Jamie Lee Curtis said this. She says, if I didn't drop that knife, then we don't have a movie, Or the movie would have went a different way, right? But, she had to drop the knife 27 times to get there, right? To get to, what's the boogeyman? No, that's not the boogeyman. You're an idiot. You dropped the knife 5 times. Jesus? Okay. Just a once bitten appreciation post. That's it. Nothing else. I always tried every holiday, October, I try to spread the word on Once Bitten, and I'm hoping and praying that one day it will be seen for the greatness that it is. I think it's probably one of the most rewatchable horror comedies ever made. And it shocks me that it's not bigger than it is. And that dance scene That hands-off dance scene is like the greatest thing ever. I love that. I love that. Should we watch that? Hold on. Let me. I did not plan this, but you know what? I might pull it. Have you guys seen the hands-off dance scene? We might have to do this. We might have to do this. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. All right. Give me a second. Give me a second. Once Bitten dance scene. Is it this one?
What's hot now? Spectrum
Let me
One
get past
Stream.
the ad.
Get internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi and your first line of unlimited
This scene
mobile
is so
free
damn
for 12
fun.
months. Plus add
This
Spectrum
scene-
TV
if you've never
and get a
seen
free
it,
Zumo stream box
then you're in
12
for a
months.
treat.
Visit Spectrum.com or stop by a Spectrum store today.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get over here. Almost there, guys. Almost there. We're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna react to this. It's gonna be a reaction. This is the type of reactions I do. Okay. I react to Once Bitten dance scenes. That's what I do. And let me fix that real quick. There we go. All right, here we go. Sit back, enjoy it. WNBC. Who has not seen this? In the comments, let me know. Has anybody not seen Once Bitten? That's Jim Carrey. I want to dance right now. Jim fucking Carrey, people. Chris is dancing. Everybody else get up. Come on, let's go. We are in high school right now, Horton Coffee. Karen Copens, people. Come on. Yeah. Look at Jim Carrey's physical comedy here. Holy shit. Here we go. Yes.
Damn that girl.
What a freaking scene. That's one of my favorite horror comedy scenes. No doubt. I freaking love it. Oh my God. That was fun. I hope that didn't annoy you, but man, that scene gets me every time. Sometimes I just want to watch that scene. It's so good. Karen Copens. So you had Lauren Hutton, who played the vampiress. And in the movie, she bites his thigh region. And because the Countess, she needs to get a virgin. You know, she needs the blood of a virgin to stay young, right? And so then his girlfriend, Karen Copens, she finds out about this. You know, I think he admits it to her or something like that. And so in that scene, she's like fighting for her man. But I had the biggest freaking crush on Karen Copens. I saw this back in the day. It used to come on HBO all the time back in the 80s. And man, I had the biggest crush on Karen Copens. And Karen Copens was so popular after this movie came out that they quickly put her on one of the posters. And she wasn't supposed to be on the poster at all. Just the reception of her was just so... It's kind of like Rachel in Friends. Remember that? Like when Friends came out and you didn't know who was going to leap out at you and be the most popular. But then Rachel, everybody loved Rachel. Same thing with Karen Copens. Everybody loved her to death. But, man, I am predicting that within the next 5 years, Once Bitten will finally get its just desserts. All right? It's that great of a freaking movie. Yeah. Franck, and anybody that hasn't seen the movie, the entire movie is fantastic. It's so freaking fun. Okay? And it's one of Jim Carrey's... It's not his first movie, but it's definitely before Ace Ventura and all that. It's, you know... And I remember watching it before Ace Ventura. Never thinking that Jim Carrey would become who he became, right? As massive as he became. Because he only has a couple little, I guess what you would call Jim Carrey moments in the movie. He plays it pretty straight for the most part. He doesn't go completely insane until you know, Ace Ventura and all that. But yeah, Once Bitten. What a movie. What a movie. All right. Oh, back to the funnies. Back to the funnies. Okay. Next one. We saw this one. The Jack and Dumber. Now, why am I missing some? Hold on. Let me fix this because Trina, I have your funnies saved in here. Let me look real quick. Hold on. That's weird. Yeah, there it is right there. Hold on. So she sent me. Yeah, there's a few here. For some reason, it's not showing up. Let me see if I can put them on here. Hold on. Yeah, for some reason, this particular format... Hold on, let me... You know what? Here's what I'll do, because I don't want to stall time here. I have them. I will save them. Okay, Trina, I have them on my folder, but what it did is it saved them in a weird format. So I'm just going to have to change it to the JPEG format, so that way I can put them on here, Trina. But I have 4 really funnies that Trina sent me. Trina, thank you so much for sending those. And I'll make sure that they are on the next one. Okay? I promise. I am so sorry. But you guys, let's talk about Halloween real quick. You know, it's not like news or anything. It's just, and I'm sure actually, you know what? Somebody sent me, and I don't have that either. Somebody sent me a poster and it said Halloween Multiverse, and it kind of sparked this idea for me because it has like different masks on the poster. And this idea that what if you could somehow make a movie, like a multiverse movie, and you could see all the various Michael Myers, you know, the Myers from the first movie, from 4, from 5. And you know, we have different timelines, right? Because here, let's think about the timelines real quick, all right? The official timelines. We got 1, 2, pretty much 1 through 6 is its own timeline. Then you got 1, 2, and H2O. That's a second timeline. Then and Resurrection. And then you got Rob Zombie's Halloween. Those movies, that's a third timeline. You got Season of the Witch, but that's not Myers, so that doesn't count for this. So 3. And then you got the David Gordon Green trilogy. That's your fourth timeline. So a multiverse, technically, even though it might annoy some people, could happen, right? You could have somehow there's a ripple in the universe happens and somebody walks through and they're able to like go from one timeline to another timeline, right? Okay. Now, the idea that I was thinking about off of this, not necessarily a multiverse, as far as a plot line of somebody actually going into a different universe, a different world. No, I'm not talking about that. What I'm thinking, what they could do because of the TV series, and I think a TV series is coming, and I've even stated I don't want Myers on the small screen, but I think I'm going to change that to I don't want new Myers on the small screen. Stay with me here, guys, okay? Stay with me. I don't want new Myers on the small screen. But wouldn't it be cool if for one season, say 8 episodes, something like that, you have a sequel to each of the timelines? Like one episode you could have a sequel to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. One episode you could have a sequel to Halloween 4 or 5. Pick your poison. You know, one episode you could have a freaking Corey Cunningham sequel, a sequel to Halloween Ends, you know? And you kind of get the idea. And I think that would be a really great idea because it would satisfy a lot of different thirsts, right? Because we can go into any Halloween message board and we could probably count a dozen different directions that people want to go. Okay? So what if you said, hey, I'm just going to get a basket full of all these different opinions, different directions that people want to go. Let's give it all to everybody. And they've done this before with like anthology TV series, whatever. Let's actually give them that. Let's give maybe 1 or 2 episodes per story. And that way everybody can have their cake and eat it too. You know, and here's the thing too, like I saw Mikey Weiss, he says he hates the idea. Until they actually present Mikey Weiss's, like Mikey, well, here's my question. What direction would you like them to go if it pertained to what we've seen before? You know? Like you could even say Halloween 3, okay? What would you want them to jump off of Halloween 3? Would it, like, you might want them to go completely new. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, okay, Mikey, you get your choice right now. Out of all these different options, which one would you like them to go through the best? Would you like to see a Jamie Lloyd sequel? Okay? So, theoretically, if Mikey Weiss was, you know, goo goo gaga for Jamie Lloyd, I gotta have that Jamie Lloyd sequel. You are pretty much giving Mikey what he wants. He can have his Jamie Lloyd sequel, and then all this other bullshit that he doesn't like, that's there for everybody else. They can have their own. So then throughout time, Mikey could be talking to his buddies. Dude, did you see that fucking Jamie Lloyd sequel that they had? Yeah, no, I didn't. What was that? Yeah, it was in the freaking the TV series. You know? How cool was that? They made a season where they gave everybody what they wanted. For the most part. I think for the most part, there's probably 5 or 6 different Halloween ideas that involve what we've already seen. Right? I think there are a group of people out there that want a Corey Cunningham sequel. You know? And yeah, there are millions of people that hate Halloween Ends with a fiery purple passion. I get that. This ain't for them. Okay? But they can set when they're watching their season, this episode right here, the Corey Cunningham sequel episode, I'm going to just skip it. Right? I'm not going to watch it. I don't care about Halloween Ends. Or maybe they're like, hey, maybe they actually make a good story. I don't like Halloween Ends, but hey, maybe this story could be interesting if it's just around Corey Cunningham, right? So what do you guys think of that idea? And you know what? I do think it's doable. I think it's doable because I'm thinking talent-wise, money's made. Who's going to be against that? Hey, I got a fat check for you right now if you come back and like Josh Hartnett, right? Josh Hartnett's a bigger. He's an A-list actor, but he did like an interview for H2O. He seems very fond of the franchise. If the check was big enough, hey, we want to do one episode that is, let's see what John Tate is up to these days, and let's have him face off against Myers. I think it's possible. I really do. And I think it all comes down to not just money, but the studio, right? Actors, they like to get in good with certain studios. You know, I think like A24 is a good example. A lot of actors, they know that I might not make the best money with A24, but I want to get in with that crowd because I want to be able to network and schmooze, and it would be, it'd be good for my career, right? So, this would be Miramax. Of course, Miramax won the rights, but I'm sure there's a lot of young talent out there that would love to work for Miramax. Miramax is a viable studio, right? So I think it's definitely doable. You can kind of compare it to, what's that series on Netflix that has these, Black Mirror? You can kind of compare this to Black Mirror. What if you had like a Halloween Black Mirror type deal, I think it could be fun, and I think no matter what, some people are going to be satisfied. They're gonna dig it, and also maybe there's a good chance that people that aren't fans of a certain direction, maybe this new episode would kind of bring them around a little bit. Maybe tie together some loose threads that maybe caused them to not like the previous movies. You can hear it in my voice. I have fun talking about this idea. This would be so freaking fun. And I think it would satisfy a lot of people. Mikey says, I would watch every episode regardless outside of a brand new story. Kicking off of 4 would be definitely preferred. See? There we go. I called it, Mikey. And that would be my number one too. Mike, I'm telling you right now, and this is just me, but I, more than anything, want a Jamie Lloyd updated story. I want Jamie Lloyd to face off against a kick-ass Myers once and for all, one last time. And, that's my wish list. So this idea would satisfy that thirst, right? While still opening the possibility for other. And this is just a TV thing, right? This is a TV season that's just for what we've already seen, right? It has nothing to do with the new movie that's eventually going to happen. And it wouldn't have to affect the new movie. Or would it? Let me take a drink. I just had a thought. I just had a damn thought, okay? What if, hear me out, guys, hear me out. What if the very last episode of this TV season introduces us to the new movie in some fashion? How freaking cool would that be? It could kind of be like what they're doing with Ahsoka. And by the way, I'm not a big fan of the Ahsoka show, but I think one of the things that people said is you needed to watch Rebels before you watched Ahsoka. To be honest, I didn't need to watch Rebels. I was fine. It still wasn't a good show, okay? This would be kind of like that. Let's do an episode, but you don't necessarily have to watch that episode to actually enjoy the new movie, right? But they could even have like a Loomis episode. How cool would that be? A freaking Loomis? Yeah. Polly says, I want a Loomis backstory pre-meeting Myers leading up to them eventually crossing paths. You could have an episode. You could have an episode like that, Man, this sounds like really a really fun idea. Somebody's had to think of this, right? Somebody's had to think of this. I'm clipping this out, motherfuckers. God damn it. Man, Guys, let me know. What do you think of this idea? I need your comments. I need your feedback. Am I off my rocker? Am I stupid? Let me know. Please, I need your comments right now, all right? Quit playing grab ass. Let me know. Let me know what you think. All right? Blade Brown says, if the series is written good, it'll be perfect. Lead in to the next film, especially if it's a cliffhanger. Yes, thank you, Blade Brown. I like that. Every episode has to be at least an hour long. Oh, yeah. Brandon, minimum 1 hour. And there's nothing that says it can't be an hour and a half. Okay? I would actually love it if it was an hour and a half. Would you guys like that if every episode was an hour and a half long? And you get your movie. I mean, because think about it, guys. These movies, they cost $10 million to make. That's not out of the question for it. So I tell you what, you can make your TV series, your episode, I'll give you a $5 million budget for each episode. I think with some, budget tightening, they could pull this off. They could pull off an episode for $5 million. Do you think that, guys? Do you think they could pull off an episode for $5 million? Strip it down. You could still put some good kills in there. But I think it's doable. Aaron says it sounds great. Polly says not stupid. Vinny says yes. Colin Mann was great as Loomis. They could easily have him return. Yes, I agree. Smiths Grove Sessions, Rosalia. I love it. I love that idea. Oh, my God. Antwood Movie Mania says, my idea for a new TV series would be young Loomis and the final episode lines say, Loomis, we have a situation with a young boy and... I am totally for a Loomis prequel episode. I think that could be fun. I really do. And maybe Loomis dealing with another patient, No matter what they do, Erica says totally. Logan says no matter what they do, someone will somehow end up pissed off. There you go. That's true. But I think what this does is it gives you a little bit of a chance that something will please at least one person. I'm trying to, how do I phrase that? There'll be something in there for everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a good chance that it'll be something in there for everybody. All right. And you know what? I don't think this has ever been done before either. This idea, right? And this is a horror franchise. We don't really have celebrities that are like Tom Cruise level in these movies, okay? So you could afford the talent. I don't think... Hell, just to look good on a resume, on paper. I think it would be cool if... Now, I'm talking about like Friday the 13th or something like that, but like imagine in a Friday series that did it kind of like this. You had like a Kevin Bacon making a guest appearance, even though Kevin Bacon died in the first movie. But you know what I mean? So... yeah, that's my thinking on that. I think that would be like my nipples get hard just thinking about it. I think that'd be a really fun freaking idea. Okay. All right. Lewis says, I wanted to go watch that new film by Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. I don't think I can sit. Yeah, that's Lewis. I'm just being flat out honest with you guys. I did receive a press invite to go watch that. I saw that it was 3.5 hours, and I said, I can't do this. I don't want to sit in a theater for 3.5 hours. I'm a Scorsese nut, and I'm not mad that it's 3.5 hours. It be as long as you need to be. I'll watch it at home in the comfort of my own couch, and I can pause and I can take a break. I'm a Lord of the Rings nut. I watch it just about every year. I run through the original trilogy, extended editions. So I'm not against long form movies, but in a theater, a drama, if it's like an action movie, like Endgame, stuff like that, yeah, I'm there. But a drama for 3.5 hours, it's a judgment call, but I can't do it. And plus, I'm too busy. I got other things that I could take care of in that 3.5 hours. So, yeah, and I'm still looking forward to watching it, but no regrets. No regrets. All right, so let's do our top. This isn't like a ranked list, but these are movies, great slashers, no sequel. I got 10 movies for you right here. Great slashers, no sequel. Literally just came up with this idea today because I always like to do like a little countdown, something like that, you know. And I did post this on Killer Flicks too, but by the time I went back and looked, I had already had my 10 picked. So, and when I did go back, I did see a few of them that did pop up on Killer Flicks, okay? But, can anybody tell me what that first movie is? That is Just Before Dawn. Now, in that picture, it does look kind of weird, like the guy in the background. That's a weird angle. I never even noticed that, but yeah. So again, no particular order, 10 movies, great slashers, no sequel. And I tried to put a good mix, a variety of slashers on here. This is your backwoods slasher, Just Before Dawn. I think probably the best backwoods slasher I've ever seen. Probably better than Wrong Turn. Just because I love the final girl in this. I like a final girl that has an arc, you know, and starts out kind of a waif, and then she ends up becoming a force by the end of the movie. And this character, and that's not her, that's one of the victims, but this character by the end of the movie, not only does she become a force, but there's a kill scene that will take the jaws of life to remove from your skull. Like, there's quite a few great freaking kill scenes in this movie, but it's also a great movie. Greg Henry, a very young Greg Henry, is in this. Greg Henry's like one of the best character actors out there. He's in a lot of God, why am I drawing a blank? When I'm live streaming, names don't, for some reason, they just vacate out of my head. Okay, James Gunn. James Gunn uses Greg Henry in a lot of his movies, okay? But there's a very young Greg Henry in this movie. Constance is the final girl's name. Do you guys want me to tell you? So I don't know. I don't want to tell you the kill scene, okay? But there's a couple kill scenes in this movie that are woof. Yeah. They really came to work that day. And I watched Offerings today, that Halloween ripoff, and the kills are really lame and lazy, and maybe they just didn't have the best budget for practical effects, you know, because sometimes you have to spend a day around a kill. You know, if you want it to be a great Tom Savini type kill, you could spend an entire day on just that one kill, that one scene. And but this movie, they probably spent a day on each of these kills that are really, really freaking awesome, okay? But it's a great movie, too. It's a great backwoods slasher. It came out in, was it 81 or 80? Around that time frame, and that's like my favorite time frame for horror. Now, you give me 1980, 81, and that's a good day. Man, I just love the look of those movies back then, right? And yeah, this one's classic. Shout out to Wolfman's Got Nars, Barry. He's the one that introduced me to this movie. This happens to be his favorite backwoods slasher. And I think it might be one of his favorite horror movies, if I'm being honest. And I see why. It's great. It's really great. 81. Thank you, Austin. Yeah. By the way, guys, best year in horror history for me, 1981. What is your favorite year for horror? Okay? I think pound for pound, you can't beat 1981. There's so many great movies that came out that year. And I've done a video on it too, on that year. So, and that's only, matter of fact, that's the only year. I was going to do more, but I just stopped at 81. You know? Chris says 84. Debbie Glass says 88. 84 must have some really good ones. I'll have to look and see. But, man, I think as far as like quantity and quality, 81 for me. I mean, there's so many of them. So many great ones. Okay. Sean says Birth of Freddy, baby. Yeah, there you go. 87, Erica. All right. Maybe I need to continue that list then. Okay. Maybe I need to continue that. I'm always looking for more ideas anyway. Okay. Next one. Again, no particular order. I like to throw some deep cuts in here. And can anybody tell me what that movie is? That is Killer Party. I just discovered this movie, I think, last year. And boy, wow. Don't you love it when you find a movie that quickly becomes one of your favorite slashers? Like, say if it's a slasher movie. It's like I watched Amityville 2: The Possession for the first time a couple years ago. And I ran, not walked, to my review chair. Same thing with this movie. If I see a movie for the first time from the 80s that like just freaking leaps out at me and is almost angry at me for not watching it back in the day, I have to run to my chair and talk about it, you know? And man, Killer Party is so refreshing and fun. And man, talk about great music. It starts off with some great freaking heavy metal. You know, you got this heavy metal. It's pretty much a music video at the beginning of the movie with this heavy metal band. White Sister. And, you know, White Sister was in Halloween 5. They one of their songs was in Halloween 5. But there's an entire music video at the beginning of this for White Sister. And the song, it's called April, No Fool. Because this is an April Fool's Day movie. But the killer, I think, is forgettable. But I won't spoil anything. But the final act, it goes in a different direction. And it becomes something different. Okay? It's one of the most unique slashers I've ever seen. I'll just say this. It combines the slasher genre with, I'll tell you, like the possession type genre. All right? And because if you look on the my thumbnail for this stream, you can see that. But man, this movie, this might be the deep cut that I recommend the most to you guys out of this list. I'm begging you guys, if you haven't seen Killer Party, oh my God, I just did you a huge favor. A huge favor. And you're going to be thanking me after. I promise. You're going to be digging into White Sister's collection and, you know, I mean, just great stuff. Great stuff. High Tension is a good one. High Tension is is High Tension a slasher? Yeah, it's pretty much a slasher. I love High Tension. Yeah, that's a great one, Rosalia. Okay. Next one. And I figured I'd throw a remake in here. And just because I do prefer the remake to My Bloody Valentine over the original. And I love the original. Don't get me wrong. But I really love the balls out approach of the remake. You know? How could I put this tactfully? There was a certain formula that you had for horror movies and slasher movies back in the 80s. And, you know, TNA was a big part of it. Parties, having fun was a part of it. Excess, you know. And I love that this remake said, you know what? We're not going to stick to the current trends of not showing any, like, nudity in horror movies. We're going to freaking go balls out, no pun intended, and we're going to honor what made those movies so fun back in the 80s, right? And so you get extreme violence in this movie. You get boobies. I mean, freaking naked woman just running out of a hotel room for like an entire scene. Lots of it. Yes. And I loved that approach in this movie, you know, because 90% of horror movies around this time up to now, for some reason, they just don't like showing nudity and stuff, you know? And that's fine. But it just adds to the flavor, I guess. It's a certain flavor. And this movie is probably the best 3D movie I've ever seen, too, in terms of the technology. I saw this in the theater when it came out. And this was one of those movies you're sitting in a theater, and a pickaxe is literally like 2 inches in front of your nose, you know? I love that about it. Grocery market scene, Franck, yes. Very good. This might be one of my favorite remakes. The more I think about it, it might. And I've watched this movie more than I've watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, and I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. But man, this one is just fun. It's so, you know, fun goes a long way for me in slasher movies. I don't know. I like a serious slasher, but I really love to have a good time with a slasher, right, guys? You know, I like to party. I like popcorn. I like dancing. I love it. I love it. You know, I love having a good time with a slasher movie. Okay. Now, next one, and I got some more fun ones on here too, I think. Next one, some of you might not have seen this one, but boy, is this a freaking classic. Holy crap. Silent Rage with Chuck Norris. It's pretty much Chuck Norris versus Michael Myers. Okay? Because that guy choking the dude, he was like an experiment, you know, because he's killed at the beginning of the movie. And so they bring him back to life. So there's a science fiction element to this movie. So it's a marriage of two different genres, though, because it's definitely an action movie for like the first half. And you get like this bar scene where Chuck Norris is like completely kicking ass, fighting, you know, he's fighting like a dozen guys in a bar. And Chuck Norris, man, back in the day, holy shit, he was the real deal, okay? He fought Bruce Lee, people, all right? And you get some of that in here. But then it becomes Chuck Norris fighting this machine, pretty much this force of a man. And he doesn't speak, and he's pretty much like Michael Myers. And so there's this great final act at the end. But yeah, this movie just has a lot of charm to it too. It's not, there's no like comedy to it. It plays it pretty straight and pretty serious. And I think that's what makes it work. It has a little bit of a Terminator vibe to it as well. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they saw Terminator and they were, or did this come out before Terminator? It might have, actually. But I was a big Chuck Norris fan back in the 80s. I saw the Mission Impossible movies. And I think they shot Mission Impossible 2 first. And they were going to release that as the first Mission Impossible. And then before the movie came out, they had finished technically the first Mission Impossible. And so the producers, they looked at the two movies and they said, hey, this movie that you finished, this is your better movie. So they swapped them. And so that's why they called the second movie The Beginning, because it was actually filmed first, right? And I like both movies, actually. So, yeah. What did I say? I meant Missing in Action. What did I say, Blu-ray Addict? Did I say something different? Missing in Action. What did I say? Damn it. I get to talking, and it's just like all kinds of bullshit comes out. Okay. All right, next one. I said Mission Impossible. Jesus. Mission Impossible. What a moron. Okay. Completely different genre. All right. I guess, I mean, they're both action. All right, but yeah. Okay. Next one. Had to keep it current. Totally Killer. Man, if you guys haven't watched Totally Killer yet, it's on Amazon Prime. Man, this movie is so damn fun. It's a mixture of like Back to the Future. Like, what if Back to the Future was a slasher movie, right? Like, she goes back in time. And I always like in these time travel movies, they always have to come up with the device. You know, what is it that's going to send them back in time? Like, originally in Back to the Future, it was supposed to be a fridge. A refrigerator was going to send him back in time. And they eventually used that in the fourth Indiana Jones. But, you know, you have to come up with your own idea. And so this one, I kind of like the idea in this one. They used one of those photo booths that you find in like malls and stuff. And somehow she created a time travel machine. By the way, guys, I just watched Hot Tub Time Machine again a couple weeks ago. That is a fun freaking movie. Okay, I love Hot Tub Time Machine. It's freaking hilarious. You know, I'm a dreamer, but my heart's a gold. I like time travel comedies anyway, right? But Totally Killer, it's still funny and fun, but it's got some nice kills in it. And it's Critical Overload. What's up, brother? Add Maxine to the list, even though it's not out yet. Yeah, right? Maxine's going to be a slasher. But Maxine is part of a franchise, right? And these are movies that there's no sequel. So if it's a prequel, that doesn't count, right? I guess if there's continuity in a storyline, then it wouldn't count. Okay? But man, I can't. Man, we still haven't seen a trailer for Maxine or anything yet. And I'm dying for this movie. Critical, when does Maxine come out? There's no way that's coming out this year, right? It's because we'd see something by now. Yeah. Rosalia has not seen Totally Killer. Okay, I'm glad you said that. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah. Rosalia, get on that like immediately. Totally Killer is so fun. It's definitely in my top 10 of the year. Yeah, really, really fun. Really fun. All right. All right, next one. I got a couple Valentine movies on here, okay? The Valentine from 2000, I believe it's 2001. I remember, this is one of those movies where you remember it so well because of what you were doing in your life at the time. And especially if you go on like vacation. You guys ever, you know what I'm talking about? Like if you go on vacation, any movie that you see or any new music that you hear, it automatically gets cemented in that particular time frame. And I can say, I remember when I was a kid going on vacation to Florida, and I heard the song Shout by Tears for Fears for the first time. And now, every time I hear Shout, it makes me think of that memory. Okay? So, Valentine, I was in the military, and I was going to like 7-level school is what we call it. When you go from like a 5-level to it's not a rank, it's more of like a skill set, you know? You have to do OJT, on the job training, you know, in whatever skill set you're in. And if you complete that, then they move you up to the next level. And it can be confusing because 7-level school has nothing to do with rank, right? But yeah, that's boring. Anyway, yeah. So I remember I was in school when this movie came out. I was TDY for a couple weeks. I was away from home, and I went. Anytime I'm away, and then there's like a new slasher movie, it gives me something to do, right? So I go and I watch this slasher movie, and I had a freaking ball with it. It's a cheese fest for sure. You got to know what you're going into, but you got your hot chicks in it. It's got some good kills. I love the Cupid mask. I think the Cupid mask is a highly underrated mask because it's the right amount of creepy. Would you guys agree with that? There's something creepy about that mask in this movie. And, I was just talking about Totally Killer. And one of my slight issues with the movie was the mask. It's not scary at all. It's very much like the Happy Death Day mask, right? And to me, it's a leg up when you get a creepy mask. I love a good creepy mask in a horror movie. All right, and this one, I like that this one played it pretty serious. It's got like an anti-bullying theme to it. Richard Melton. What is that? Was that his name? Was it Richard Melton, or am I thinking of the one of my classmates in high school? We had a Melton in high school, and maybe I'm getting it. Was it Richard Melton, guys, or was it somebody else? Let me know. All right. I feel like I'm wrong there. I know it's Melton. Jeremy Melton. Is that it? Is it Jeremy Melton? I think it's Jeremy Melton. Yes. Thank you, Erica. Jeremy Melton. All right. Well, we had a Richard Melton that I went to high school with, okay? So he was definitely not bullied, though. Okay. Jeremy Melton. Yeah. But, I love Valentine. I watch it quite often. I remember for the longest time, we weren't getting a Blu-ray release for that movie, and then they finally released it on Blu-ray, and I was hooting and hollering. I was all happy. Yeah. All right. Next one. Speaking of next, you're next. I think pound for pound, you're next on this list. It might be it might be number one. I can't remember. I'll have to look and see. Let me actually, you know what? Let me look at the rest of my list here to tell you. No, it's not number one, but it might be top 3 for sure. Okay? It might be top 3. But this is a great freaking movie. And I am so shocked that we haven't seen a sequel to this movie because Erin, she lives in the movie. They left the door wide open for a sequel. And it's garnered enough of a fan base. I think it's like, would you guys consider this like a cult like it's got a cult fan base, because I don't think it was a massive box office hit, but people constantly bring it up still to this day, as a great slasher, and they constantly mix it with franchises, different franchises. I love Halloween, Halloween 2018. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake. I love You're Next. It always finds its way in conversations for slasher movies because it's just that good. And Sharni Vincent is probably one of the best final girls to come along in, I'll say, the last 20 years. She is flat out amazing. She might have kicked the doors down for a new type of final girl. I mean, we've had tough final girls in the past, but never to this level. I mean, I've compared this to she's like the female Rambo. Okay. It's like, you do not want to fuck with her. You don't want to break into her house. Okay. Because she's just going to have fun. Right. And this was 3 killers, but also, a deception outside of the 3 killers, her boyfriend was up to no good. It was all like an insurance type snafu, and she was stuck in the middle of it all, and she completely slays and kicks ass. So, yeah, You're Next is freaking classic. All right, next one of my all-time favorite slashers that doesn't have a sequel, 10 to Midnight, another action slasher with Charles Bronson. Now, this is one I used to watch, this one and Silent Rage quite often back in the 80s. And with both movies, for some reason, I went through a good 20-year period where I never bothered to watch the 2 again. And then after I started my YouTube channel, and you start digging deep for deep cut slashers, and then you're reminded of these movies that you watched back in the day. And I will say, when I threw this in, I think it was a couple years ago, I reviewed it, and I didn't remember much of anything at all. And boy, was I in for a treat. This is a white-knuckled meat cleaver. It does not hold back, that type of slasher. It gets down and dirty. It definitely doesn't go light. It's not a comedy. And what I love about it is, as dangerous as the killer is, Charles Bronson ain't having it. He's the one guy that's like, I'm not afraid of you. I'll freaking kill you right here, right now. I don't give a shit. And you believe it. Charles Bronson was the man in this movie. And this killer, though, was not to be toyed with. And he kills all his victims naked. Because I guess it's a way for him to, not leave behind any evidence, right? And so he just takes his clothes off and he goes in and kills them. And the ladies in the chat will like that because he's a pretty nice looking dude. Okay? But he's completely insane. He's out of his freaking mind, which also makes it nice. He's a wacko, right? And wackos are violent. And he's extremely violent, There are moments in this movie that definitely remind me of Terminator, okay? Very similar to Terminator. And maybe it's just the time period that this came out, because it came out around the same time. But great name. I love the name 10 to Midnight. Yeah, this one is freaking amazing. 10 to Midnight, guys. Cannot recommend it enough. All right. These next 2 will not surprise you. But we're going to do this anyway. And there you go. Black Christmas, the original. One of my all-time favorite movies. Not just horror, not just slasher. I adore Black Christmas. And I found it through Halloween, funny enough, because I saw the 25 Years of Terror documentary. I watched that thing probably a dozen times. And right at the beginning, they mentioned Black Christmas. And I had never seen or heard of Black Christmas. And this was 2003 when I first heard about it. And I didn't expect much from watching it, but then after I watched it, I became obsessed with the movie. It even still to this day, it has a vibe all its own, you know, even for back then. There's something really unique. I believe it was filmed in 16 millimeter. It definitely has that vibe to it. So, what a freaking movie, though. And I watch it every December, and I love the characters in it. Bob Clark wanted to create intelligent women. He didn't want these women to be idiots. But yet there's still some comedy in there with Margot Kidder, who's hilarious. And yeah, man, Black Christmas. What a freaking movie. I love Black Christmas to death. There's just so much style to the movie too, you know? Because the kills aren't crazy in it, but they're definitely stylish. Like the way Barb gets killed with the ornament, you know, like I think it's like a horse or a unicorn ornament, you know, just a crystal ornament. And it's just and as she's being killed, you hear the choir, you know, these carolers singing outside, and the juxtaposition is there, but it's really creepy and it fits, you know. So there's even the Christmas music moments in this movie feel horror, feel kind of off, a little weird. And I don't know if that was intentional. I'm sure it was, but very few Christmas horror movies can pull off the creep factor like Black Christmas does. There's just something. Yeah, I was just going to say that, R. Jacob. Unnerving. That's the perfect word for it. One of the most unnerving films of all time. And I think a big part of that, too, is the score. It's a very organic score. It's not like say, for Halloween, it's not like a piano-type score. It's definitely its own thing. And it sounds like something that was created through tension, you know? I know that they were like pulling at organ strings, scraping them with like a fork, just getting really creative. And I love a director that just gets creative with a horror movie. And Bob Clark really did that with this. Okay. And guys, what do you think the last one's going to be? Okay. And this is definitely top 3, this last one. And there's so many movies that I left off of here. You know, because I could easily do another 10. There's so many movies that haven't gotten sequels, you know, yet. So I'll go ahead and show you, though. Number 1 is Happy Birthday to Me. I love this movie to death. I think if you like good twists, but also really crazy, outlandish, like they would never go that far. They would never do. Oh, they did. You know, that's Happy Birthday to Me. It goes beyond. You know, it's like when you're writing a script and you're coming up with a twist, and you say to yourself, "Okay, let's write down 5 ideas that I know for a fact are not going to be in this movie. They're just completely out there, but I'm trying to stretch my creativity factor." So, you know what? Without even thinking, the first thing, let's just put it down. Let's just write it down just as an exercise, okay? They did that in this, but they put it in the movie, you know? And I'm not going to spoil the twist, or twists. There's like quite a few twists in this movie, but I think movies like Scream owe a massive debt to Happy Birthday to Me. It's got some fantastic kills. I think the acting is really great. I like a crazy, psychotic performance, and you definitely get that in this. Another one that I can tell you, because I'm thinking of, is another birthday movie, is Madhouse, which I also reviewed Madhouse. And I don't know which movie has crazier characters. Is it this one or Madhouse? Because in Madhouse, in the final act, they completely lose their... I'd say the final acts are kind of similar and equally crazy. And I might have to go back and rewatch both of them because they have really great performances, okay? I love a good psychotic performance in a horror movie. Don't bore me with a just a straight-laced, boring performance, all right? Yeah, this is definitely one of the best VHS covers of the 80s. You know, one of those covers where you're walking through the video store and it just like leaps out at you. There's my top 10, but you know what? That's a great topic. VHS covers. Since we got a few minutes here, guys, I want you right now to give me your favorite VHS cover of all time, okay? Give me your favorite VHS cover. I have mine. I know mine. I'll get it. Here's mine. The cover is the guy with the shish kebab in his mouth. Okay, Erica, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging in. All right, we're almost done here, people. But all right, I'll tell you right now. I'll give you. Oh, damn! Somebody said sleepaway camp cover too. There's a lot. You know what? Let me look around here real quick. Now I guess I'll just go with these two. Okay. Now you know what? I'll give you a non-horror too. I'll give you 3. All right. I'll give you 3 of my favorite VHS covers. Okay. I could even clip this out. Hold on. I'll give you 3 of my favorite VHS covers. Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh my God. Damn. Would you guys quit throwing freaking great ones at me? Damn it. That's another great one too. Shit. No, that's not the right one though. I actually have a couple of different copies of Nightmare on Elm Street. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Damn it. Oh, there it is. Shit, it's not the classic though. Yeah, I got a couple copies of that. I think I got another one around here somewhere, but I'm not gonna go looking for it. But I think I have the one that's got the classic poster on it. Right? Am I right, guys? Isn't there a version of this that's got the classic poster on it? So that's a bonus for you. This happens to be one of my all-time favorite covers. Rocky IV. Rocky wrapped in the flag. The first time I saw that, just walking down the street, 1985, poster hanging on the brick wall of my local movie theater, and I was, damn, that's a freaking amazing poster. You know, it's like catching an image at the perfect moment. You know, because that's an actual image, right? That's not a painting. So they caught him at an exact perfect moment. It's like a moment in time. It's a snapshot. And I love this poster. Really good. Another one of my favorite is Terminator, of course. Iconic cover. Just Arnold on the front holding the gun. I think this cover might have inspired the cliche of putting the character with a gun holding up on every third action movie, or probably every action movie to this day. You know, you see, and sometimes the poster, the guy won't be holding the gun, and then they'll Photoshop the hand holding the gun into the front of the poster. And it's obvious. It's hilarious. But yeah, that's great stuff right there. That's a great freaking poster. And you know what? Like, you don't really see that these days. You see the name Schwarzenegger right across the top. That's how big Schwarzenegger was back then, you know. Same thing with Rocky IV. You got Sylvester Stallone across the title. You don't see that often these days. It happens. You'll see Tom Cruise above the title, but back then, you had Van Damme, you had Chuck Norris. There were quite a few of them, but Schwarzenegger's name is so long and it looks fantastic on a poster. I actually love the Raw Deal poster too. I have Raw Deal on VHS as well. So, yeah. But my number one is I Spit on Your Grave. Okay? This is an iconic, classic poster. And the story behind the poster is actually pretty interesting because originally it was called Day of the Woman, and it had Camille Keaton on the poster, just her face. And the movie wasn't really getting any traction. And so then they changed the name. The distributor changed the name to I Spit on Your Grave. And then they brought Demi Moore in to, I think they tried a few different models. And Demi Moore was the one that they used, her derriere right there, And I don't know what it is, but there's just something so iconic about this image. I think this image is probably just as iconic as the movie itself, It's like a perfect storm of marketing and shock value, all coming together, right? So, yeah. And we didn't know that was Demi for 30 years, right? And then she finally let the cat out of the bag in her autobiography. So, Brett, thanks, man. He says, Fright Night Part 2 from 80s, white cover VHS. I remember that cover. Yes. Really great cover. Really great cover. All right. Damn, guys, this was so freaking fun. I love, this is like the thing that I love the most about having a YouTube channel. But I will say, today I recorded reviews for Offerings. Looking forward to getting that one out. That's the deep cut review that I did, the Halloween ripoff. It was fun to discuss that movie. And I did a review for Monster House today, okay? So, what else is to come? Oh, yeah, this week I got a press screening for a new David Fincher movie, The Killer. It's coming to Netflix, but Netflix will have these press screenings for critics every now and then, and I think because it's like a David Fincher movie. So I'm getting to see a brand new David Fincher movie in the theater on Tuesday night. And I love David Fincher. He's one of my favorite directors. So seeing that, and I'm seeing Five Nights at Freddy's on Wednesday. So busy week. Hard to keep up, especially in October with all the crazy stuff coming at you. But you guys make it fun. So hope you guys are having a great October, though. Take care of each other. Love you guys to death. And I'll see you on the flip flap. All right, guys?